Good afternoon, trainees. Welcome to another session. Today we'll be looking at professionalism in the workplace. Hi, I'm Assertive Alicia. I want you to go ahead and introduce yourselves using an adjective that best describe you using the initial of your first name.
Hi everyone, my name is Caroline Reed Blair, and I'm looking forward to learning a lot from this course. And an adjective is caring. Thank you.
Thank you, Carleen. Thanks for sharing.
Hello, my name is Althea Gordon Stevens, and I'm assertive and ambitious. Looking forward to professionalism class. Thank you.
Welcome, Althea.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Miss Tanisha Johnson. Well, thoughtful Tanisha, and I'm really happy to be in this class, hoping to learn a lot about professionalism, especially in the workplace. Thank you.
Hi, Tanisha. Welcome.
Everyone, my name is Crystal Gale, and the adjective that best describes me is kind. I'm looking forward to just learn as much as I can about professionalism.
Welcome, Crystal.
Good afternoon. My name is Shanique Grant, and the adjective that best describes me is simple. I'm looking forward to extending my knowledge and professionalism.
Thank you, Shanique. Thank you for sharing all. And you will definitely enhance your knowledge and your skills as it pertains to professionalism in the workplace. You know, before we get into the lesson, I just want to share a personal experience with you. You know, one day I went to the supermarket just to pick up some items. And you know, as ladies at time, you may leave your card in one purse and you carry another into the supermarket. That was the instance or the case. Have you ever experienced that as yet? Yes, I say Althea know how that feels. But anyway, I spoke to the cashier and said, listen, can I just take a quick little minute, just run outside and get my card? You know, the attitude was, no, 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 you don't see the line. And some of the customers were saying, it's okay, she can go ahead and get the card. But the cashier was saying, I don't know how to deal with that, you know? So it's important that we are as professional as we can in the workplace. And you know, guess what? You know who did not return to that supermarket? Huh? You know who did not return to that supermarket again?
I wouldn't either.
All right, that's good. So we're going to now get into our objectives today. So I'm going to quickly share my screen. Just give me a moment. You know how technology goes. And while I made that transition, I want you to, in the meantime, just probably, what do you think of the term professionalism as I get into the objectives? Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Yes, miss.
Yes,
And you
miss.
see everything. Okay, that's great. Awesome. So anyone would like to share as we get the PowerPoint up, what are your thoughts on professionalism? What is professionalism?
Appropriate conduct.
Okay, thank you, Shanique. Appropriate conduct. Anyone else?
I believe it's the competency of our skills expected of a professional. Sorry.
Right, thanks, Carleen. Right, it's showing competency in our skills because, of course, you may be hired to do a job, and sometimes as employees, we kind of slack off and we don't meet our deadlines. A part of being professional is actually meeting our deadlines and are able to carry out the skills that we were paid or we were hired to do. What about dress? Do you think dress has anything to do with professionalism? I come to work every day, yet I have the skills as Carleen mentioned, and I have the proper behavior and the attitude as Althea mentioned. What about dress? Is that a part of professionalism?
Certainly.
Yes, miss, it should be because sometimes society expect, well, society, we are cultured in a sense, there are different norms. And so it is important because you might have a customer coming in who's expecting a certain type of dress code. And, you know, if you're not dressed in a professional manner, then they might be turned off and, you know, might lose business. That's what I think, miss.
Right, absolutely. And we are going to see that further in our lesson. So I do agree with you. So at the end of the session, we will be able to define the term professionalism in our own words. And based on your prior experience and your prior knowledge, we have somewhat covered the term professionalism. So those who may be having some difficulty, at the end of the session, you should be able to define the term in your own words with at least 90% accuracy after viewing the PowerPoint presentation. After working in pairs, after viewing our case study, you should be able to share the importance of professionalism in the workplace with an accuracy of 90%. And then, of course, closer to the end of the class, we not only want you to have the knowledge, but we want you to apply the skills necessary to demonstrate professionalism in the workplace. So those are our 3 objectives for this afternoon. Are we clear?
Yes, miss.
Okay, thank you so much. So what we're going to do now, we are going to watch a short video, and then we are going to share our thoughts on what you have seen in the video. I will also place the link in the chat for those who are having difficulty hearing. So please see that in the chat as well. Did Mhm. Yes, I'm trying to. I'm going to try that again. Can you stop?
Next scene, the individual's personal life is affecting her professional life. See if this looks like a familiar situation.
Yeah, you have to pick me up today. Well, yeah, I'm getting out late and I don't want to take the train.
Naomi,
Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I don't want to take the train. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get out around 7.
Naomi, I need to get just.
Well, who's cooking dinner? Are you gonna? Okay.
Excuse me, Naomi.
Yeah, around 7. Okay, bye. Naomi speaking. Hi. Yeah, hi. How are you? Yeah, I did get your message. No, I just didn't have time to call back. Yeah, I just been so busy. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I've been busy. Okay, yeah, he told me he was gonna come pick me up around 7. Sure, that gives me enough time.
Naomi,
I need to. Yeah, that gives me enough time. Yeah, that waitress I told you about her. Yeah, she was horrible.
So after watching that video, what are your thoughts on that video as it pertains to the topic of professionalism?
I think she was behaving unprofessional.
Yes, Althea. Any justification for that, for saying that? Anybody else?
She should not be taking her personal calls on the business number and ignoring her coworker. And it could be very important information that needs to be disseminated that she's ignoring. And she was rude by just telling her to wait like that.
Right, excellent point, Althea, excellent. We must try and demonstrate as much as possible the difference between personal time and actually business time. Excellent point. Yes, Carlene, you wanted to share? Okay, no problem. Anyone else? Any other views on the video?
Yes, I think Althea said it all. I think she was rude. She shouldn't have been, taking personal calls within the office time or within the work setting and dismissing her colleagues whilst they were trying to get her attention.
Right, the dismissal, the attitude and the behavior involved, right.
Miss, it seems like she do it all the time.
Yes, yes. Sometimes one little, trial can lead into habits. So yes, that's your statement on that. So yes, we are going to now look at now that we now have a better understanding of professionalism, we're now going to look at a case study so we can understand the importance of professionalism in the workplace. I saw that in the chat, so let me engage those that are in the chat as well. Our body language, yes. So professionalism, as we are trying to come up with our own definition, is not just about behavior, it's not just about our tone, it's just an overall conduct of behavior, tone, or attitude. And we're going to find out later our dress and how we project ourselves in the workplace. So good point, good point. All right, so in the chat, I'm going to also post a case study and I'm going to present it also on the screen for you. So for those in the chat again, you can look in the chat for the case study. And let me know those who have accessed it in the case study in the chat. So for those who have access in the chat, you're going to work in groups of 2, as we've always been doing. I know you have done other courses, so work in your usual pairs, and then we will take some feedback as it pertains to the case study. All right, so go ahead and access that in the chat for me. I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to look at that case study. And remember, we're going to look at why is it important that professionalism is maintained. So I'll be here if you need me. Okay, are we through?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Miss.
All right, great. Great. Can one group firstly describe what is happening in the case study? Before we get into our discussion, describe what you read in the case study. What is this case study about?
Miss, just by reading, what I got from it is that there's a worker who is working on a system and he's highly stressed, he's overwhelmed and frustrated. And he had to assist another employee with a situation that directly related to what he was doing on the system. And based on her response, you know, it wasn't one that was welcomed, in my own words.
Okay, so group one. Thank you so much, Crystal, for sharing that. So group one, what are your thoughts about this woman right now?
Miss, I think she's very upset the fact that her her needs weren't being attended to. So she's really, really upset, and probably, you know, she has some reasons why she's upset. So because she's not getting quality service.
Okay, yes. Is this situation could have handled in a different manner?
Miss, I think she was lacking, she wasn't professional. She lacked communication skills. While she was frustrated, I understand she could have found other ways to communicate with the other person.
All right, thank you so much, Crystal. Yes, communication is key, and I'm glad that you brought that up. There's a way in which we should communicate in the workplace, and actually, effective communication in the workplace is an aspect of professionalism, which is a next session we'll be getting into the next class. Okay. Now, how could professionalism be modeled or demonstrated? So now put yourself as this computer tech administrator. You're overwhelmed, you've been doing all this work, and there you feel somewhat attacked by this person. How would you demonstrate professionalism? As young persons going into the workplace, how would you demonstrate or handle that situation?
Miss, I would apologize to her, even though I'm upset.
Okay, Tanisha, you're taking the high road. All right,
Yes,
good.
miss.
Good thoughts.
Yes, Miss. Sometimes you have to empathize, because if you let the customer feel like you're not taking into consideration their feelings and how, you know, it can escalate the situation. So I agree with apologizing and letting the person know, you know, I understand how you're feeling and support, and then try to solve the
Okay.
situation.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so if we are going to look back at our objectives, by now we should be able to define the term professionalism that encapsulates all that we have looked at this afternoon. Okay, the importance of professionalism. Now, professionalism is important as it creates boundaries in the workplace. It actually also creates an atmosphere for improvement. As Tanisha said, she will take the high road, and in making an apology, sometimes you have to apologize even though you're not wrong, so that we can move forward in an atmosphere that can allow improvement to take place. There should also be a sense of responsibility to how we behave and treat others. we also have to mitigate conflicts. And that will link back to what Tanisha said. Increase job satisfaction. So if the person who was saying that they messed up on the job, imagine you just say, you know that you're doing a good job and I know that you feel overwhelmed. Imagine all the administrator would feel, a technician would feel just hearing that after a long night's sleep, instead of hearing those language from another colleague. And it will also lead to personal growth. Now, importance of professionalism in the workplace. As you can see, there are some others. It allows you to fulfill your role. It helps you to impress and inspire others. It gives you a deep sense of satisfaction, and it helps you to be successful on the job. And this is a case study that we just examined. Okay, so we're going to take a little break, and in another scenario, we are going to now demonstrate. So there's something in the chat for you where you're working in pairs again, and you're given another scenario. And this is where you're going to demonstrate now, how do you actually carry out professionalism in the workplace? You know what it is, you know the importance, but it is important to demonstrate that in the workplace. So go ahead and check your chat, and you will see a scenario that links back to each group, so you can discuss, and then you will make that decision of how you present that. Okay, so you have just looked at that scenario. One of the scenarios that you looked at was you have a colleague who she's new on the job, but every day she attends work late. And as you, as a supervisor or a superior, you recognize that even though she's your friend, she's there coming late every day or almost every day to the workplace. How would you treat that situation as a friend, but yet you're a supervisor? How would you treat that situation? And this is where I want you to be specific with how you would demonstrate your skills as a professional.
Miss, I believe when it comes to work and ethics, friendship should be out the door, and you'll speak to the person just like how you'll speak to any other employee in a respectful way, of course.
Right, thank you so much. So you have to create boundaries, as we said. The importance of being professionals is creating boundaries. So though you have had a relationship with this somebody for years, you will have to create that boundary and let her know that this is workplace, and listen, you have to be on time. So how would you demonstrate that to her? What would you do? How would you bring that across to her? Anyone else would like to share or build on what Althea said?
Miss, by confronting her, I guess. Telling
Go
her,
ahead. So go ahead. You're speaking to her right now. Confront her. Let me hear. Go ahead.
Miss, put me on the spot.
All right, I'm putting you on the spot. Anybody would like to try? She's sitting right in front of you right now. She's your friend. And your boss comes to you and say, hey, you gave high recommendations for this person to join the company, but yet she's late almost every day. You're a supervisor. What can you demonstrate how you will deal with that situation?
Miss, I would speak to her in private, probably try to find out what are some of the challenges that she might be having, and also offer suggestion just in case she gets some challenges. And of course, I'll ensure that my tone, my demeanor comes across in a professional way as well, Miss.
Right, beautiful point. Well said. Cannot be said any better. Great, Tanisio. So the first point I liked was how you said you will communicate with her privately. That's the first point I liked. And then you will find out exactly what's happening with her. Okay, so you recognize the steps. So we're trying to demonstrate what we would do. So you speak to the person privately, you find out the second step, you find out exactly what are the problems about the issues, and then as a supervisor, you will create recommendations of how you could move forward. Thank you so much, Tanisha. So class, we're going to summarize what we looked at today. Remember, we had 3 objectives. One of them stated you should be able to define the term professionalism in your own words. And remember, professionalism relates to a particular set of values in the workplace, and it relates also to your conduct, your attire, and also your behavior. We also looked at the importance of professionalism to mitigate conflict, to increase job satisfaction, and also for personal growth. Also, I gave you a scenario where you were able to now demonstrate the importance of professionalism in the workplace. So thank you so much. And remember, you have an evaluation to sign for me of how you actually understood the concept of professionalism, where I can give you feedback if you so desire.
Bye, Miss.
Okay, bye. Take care. Next
Bye,
class.
Miss. I love the class, Miss. I enjoyed it.
Okay, thank you so much.
I learned so much today.
Yes, Miss, I learned a lot too.
Okay, what is one thing you learned?
To remain calm even when customers are behaving badly.
Okay, thank you, Tanisha. Anyone else want to share?
Not to have your personal conversation on their work phone.
Right, thank you so much. Setting boundaries and knowing there's a time and a place for everything. Thank you so much for that point. Great, awesome. Okay,
Yes,
and this is where we'll end for this afternoon. Now, before you end, there will be an individualized test because we've been working in groups, we've been having group discussion, but I have to test you individually to see if you understand the concept. So therefore, when you go onto the Moodle platform, and also I'll be creating a Google quiz, you will also see that in the chat, or when you go to the Google Classroom, you will see that, and you'll be able to do the quiz and access it. You can have a better understanding of the professionalism in the workplace. It was so nice meeting with you, and it was nice sharing with you. I really enjoyed the session today, and I hope you will practice these skills as it relates to professionalism in the workplace. Thank you so much. See you next class where we look at effective communication.
Okay, Miss.
Thank you, Miss.